What if Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, or even Facebook Marketplace disappeared tomorrow? Would buyers know where to find you? Today, I'm sharing proof that building an audience works. 35% of my Etsy traffic comes from outside the platform. I'm going to show you how I created that traffic and why it matters for your business. Hi, this is Carrie with Sunshine Vintage Vibes. Welcome back to A Reseller's Life. If you're new here, I am a full-time vintage home decor reseller. I have my main shop on Etsy, but I do cross-list on other platforms. Every Monday for the summer, I'm bringing you a behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to be a reseller. Today, I'm sharing how I drove 35% of my Etsy traffic from off of Etsy and why building your audience, whether you sell online or in an antique booth, is important as a reseller. Now, don't get me wrong, optimizing your listings if you sell online is really still very important. I'm talking maximizing your videos, photos, titles, tags, descriptions, all of that brought in 65% of my business. I'm talking about the other 35%. The other 35% of the visitors who came to my shop came because of the things I'm going to show you. First, I'll show you my Etsy traffic stats, where my buyers are coming from. And then I'll show you how social media brings buyers to my shop and why building an audience can protect your business long term. I'll also show you why you can use this for whether you sell on eBay, Poshmark, or even in an antique booth. Finally, I'm going to give you some content like ideas and tools that you can use to get started today. Then at the very end, I'm going to give you a little challenge that I'm going to give myself an even harder challenge. But at the very end, I'm going to challenge you. So stick with me and I'll let you know what you're in for and see if you can do it. I think you can. We're going to use Etsy as sort of the guinea pig for it because it's what I use as my main platform and it's where I can actually show you where the stats are. So here is the screen grab here and I'm going to show you where to find this. So I am on Etsy in my stats. You're going to go under stats and you're going to go to shop traffic. Now it automatically populates to this month. So it's showing this month. It's almost 30 days. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And you're going to scroll down to how shoppers found you. So you're going to go to how shoppers found you and on the right, so you're going to show you how on the left is like basically 65% Etsy drove that traffic, right? So you have Etsy app, other Etsy pages, Etsy searches, marketing, which I do participate in. But on the right is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about 35% of my visits came from my own traffic. So there's direct and other traffic, social media, and Etsy ads. Now I don't have any Etsy ads and I don't have any of that. So that's zero. But let's look at social media. I'm just going to do the drop down and you can see on Instagram, I had 40 visits. This is for this month. So we're at day 26. So almost 30 days. And Facebook brought in 22 and Pinterest brought in 10. Now I had to search this. How did Pinterest bring in 10? I am not on Pinterest. I used to have, I still probably have it, a Pinterest page for my old business. I have not started or done one for my business here for Sunshine Vintage Vibes. It's something I want to do 2027. It's on my goal list for 2027. I cannot tackle it this year, but it's something I do want to find out. So how this works, I looked it up. How did Pinterest bring in traffic is Pinterest users on Etsy, the Etsy listings including a sharing option, and users can actually save an item directly to their Pinterest board. And then that can be then shared, right? And then many people will use Pinterest save browser extension. So when they're browsing Etsy, they can click the Pinterest button and pin a listing they like to their board. And sometimes, let's say they're doing a mid-century board and that your listing is on that and people liked that board, then they will click that Pinterest, board or image, which takes me to my Etsy account. Now that was the biggest eye-opening of this video that I'm doing was 10 visits in the last 26 days from Pinterest. That's crazy. And I'm not even on Pinterest. So that's the power of social media. So I'd be curious if any of you are on Pinterest and does that bring in traffic? Because if I have 10 clicks visits from Pinterest, and I am not on Pinterest, that's something I need to explore. Now let's look at direct and other traffic. So I'm going to click that and it's going to show you where the other visits are coming from. So I'm going to scroll down here and you can see YouTube brought in 454 visits, and YouTube is actually mobile YouTube. So it's still YouTube. And then Etsy.com, I looked that up to see what that meant. And it just meant something like they actually typed in a product, like they got onto Google and typed in something that brought them to Etsy. That's what, at least that's what the research said. So that was 10. I'm still unsure about that, exactly what that means. So that is what brought in the traffic, was that sort of statistics. But you can see that just by just social media alone, I mean, you can see these stats because I really wasn't pushing, and I don't push hard enough on sort of new stuff. I do a lot of like thrifting and what's sold. I don't do a lot of like, hey, look what I just picked up, would you want to buy it kind of stuff. That I do need to start working on it. We'll talk about that at the very end. But as you can see, 35% of my visits come from my own traffic. Now, I have talked about this share and save link. You can see down here. This is your own this is your own link, your own Etsy link. I believe other platforms have this as well. And what that means is you are sharing the link directly. So they come directly to your shop. They come to your shop and you can then track that and you get a little discount. So I'm able to show that. Now, this is just for July. I had 5 orders with a total of $266 in sales, and I saved $10.63. Yeah, it's only $10. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but what it's building is it's building your own audience. They are using your own link to come to your shop. That is what it's all about. I did open it up on eBay and I had one sale this past month. So I don't have much, but I have not been able to figure out how you see if it's from social media. But you can see my impressions, which is crazy. I had 746 listing views and 1 sale. Something's wrong there. Probably something I'm doing, something I'm not working on. My Posh stats, I looked as well. It shows like orders and stuff, but I wasn't able to figure out how you can like break it down by social media. And maybe it's because I don't have the stats for it. Building your audience off of the platform is imperative to a longevity of your business. And what I mean by that is, let's say tomorrow Etsy decides we're not going to sell vintage anymore. We only do handmade. You got 30 days to close your shop. Like, I mean, that's never going to happen. But what if it did? You don't know. You don't have control of it. So everyone moves over to, let's say, eBay or Poshmark. But if 100% of your traffic is from Etsy, you're going to have to start over. But I have 35% of my business I drive. So I know if I had to start over on, let's say, Poshmark, at least, well, we would hope everybody would follow me, 35% of the traffic I would bring with me. So I wouldn't completely have to start over from zero. That is why you want to build your audience. Plus, what if you decide you want to start selling on your own website? You don't want a platform. That's going to be really hard to do if your whole audience is coming off of the platform. So if your intention is to create a website and start selling on your own, start building your audience. And that comes from social media, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest. Now we know Pinterest has an audience that comes and shops on Etsy or wherever, whatever platform you use. I was in real estate for 35 years, still am. I'm wrapping things up, and building your brand is key, absolutely key to having a successful long career. And what that means is, if you, let's say you work for Century 21, I worked for Century 21 years ago, a very, very long time ago. And they did have gold blazers. I never had one, just kind of some of the old timers had them. But that was them building their brand. But what I needed to do as an agent for a big company or any company is I needed to build me. I needed to build my name, not Century 21. So on your business cards, on your marketing, on your website, everything needs to be you, not Century 21. Century 21 is down at the bottom corner, right? They know what company you work for, but who they are using, who they're working with is you. And that is the same for reselling. They are coming to you. Your shop needs to be here. It needs to be big and bold. And that is what you're selling. Where you're selling it, the platform is the small thing in the corner. Because if you decide, I don't want to be with Century 21, it's not working, or I'm moving and Coldwell Banker is the big one here, I'm going to go work for Coldwell Banker, they're going to follow you because you have built your brand. They are following you. They don't care about what company they want to be with you. The same is true as reselling. You have to build that brand. You have to build your following so that no matter where you sell, and if your intention is to someday sell on your own website, this is imperative. You have to build your brand. So how do you start? How do you start? So I'm going to show you kind of how you start, and then I'm going to give you some tools and ideas on how to get started right now. So how do you start? Pick a social media platform, whichever one, I would say whichever one you have the most viewers on, the most followers. That's where I would start. And it doesn't really matter which one, just pick one. And don't worry about doing them all. It's a lot of work for sure. But I think if you pick one, it's manageable, right? Because if you pick Instagram, the good thing about Instagram is you can have it automatically sent to Facebook. So you can hit them and you could do the opposite. So if you only like Facebook, you can create an Instagram and have everything sent to Facebook or Instagram. So that is what I do. I am on Instagram and I will have it, anything that I post goes automatically to Facebook. So I'm hitting two audiences, which is awesome. Now, my sons and my daughter, you have to be on TikTok, 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 TikTok. So I do have a TikTok account. I have more followers on TikTok than I do Instagram, and I post 10 times more on Instagram. Now, Facebook, I have the most followers on my page, and I think that's because of the demographic. It's more my demographic of who is shopping in my shop. And then, of course, I have YouTube, and now look, I have to do Pinterest. Who knew? So I would not stress you have to do them all. There's too many. I have sort of I'm trying to do once a week on TikTok, which I know is not enough. I should be doing it every day, but I can't do them all. I have to sort of work on one and build it. And that's the suggestion I would make to you. Pick a social media platform where you like it, you're on it, and you have the most followers, and concentrate on that. Concentrate on that platform. That is the one you're going to use because it's something you'll go back to. I like Instagram. I don't love TikTok. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why. It's kind of fast, and maybe I just because I don't know it well enough. That's probably the reason, right? I don't feel comfortable on it, whereas I feel comfortable on Instagram. So it's just a learning process. So I would just pick one and start. Whatever social media platform you choose, make sure you have your links. Make sure you have your links connected to that page, because if you're posting, people for the most part aren't going to go to Etsy and type in Sunshine Vintage Vibes. They're going to click a link, right? You want to make sure you have your link in your bio somewhere. You need the link. Now, something that I've done, which has been such a savior, if you sell on multiple platforms, if you have multiple social media channels, I use Linktree. So I'm going to show you my QR code. So the QR code is the best thing to use for any sort of business cards, marketing. If you have a booth and you have signage in your booth, make sure you have a QR code. Now, Linktree has a basic free plan. That's what I'm on. So there's no cost. You can connect all your links. So I have my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, YouTube, my Amazon storefront. All of my links are on Linktree, but then I only have to have one link. So that's if you have a lot. Now, if you only have one and you want to send everybody to your eBay shop, and that's the only thing you're really doing, you're on Facebook and eBay, then use your eBay link, your eBay QR code. Don't worry about everything else. Just you need to have a link, whatever that is. But again, so this is my Linktree QR code that I use, and it has all my links on there. So I only have to have one QR code and one like link, then that will take everybody to my all my links, and then they can choose. Now, again, I'm on the basic plan. I am teetering paying for the the first plan, and I'll tell you why, and it's so silly, but you can see in the QR code in the middle, it has the Linktree logo. I don't like that. I want it to be my logo. That is the only reason I want to upgrade to the next, like to the plan where you actually have to pay, is because of that. And I'm getting really close to doing that. I just haven't done it yet. I don't like to have any overhead, like monthly overhead. And so I haven't done it yet. But my suggestion is, if you have a lot of links, get a link tree. It's easy. If you have an antique booth, you don't sell anywhere online, and you're posting on social media, let's say you're on Facebook and you're posting and you're trying to send people to your antique booth, but you don't have any sort of way, you don't sell online, you don't have a website, I would send them to the antique booth, like the antique malls website. Most of them will have it. So that's my suggestion. And mostly is because they'll get all the information that they need, right? They're going to find out where it is, their hours. A lot of them will even sell. They'll get, they can sign up for a newsletter. So I think that's just as important. And a lot of antique malls, most of them will do a lot of advertising and that kind of stuff. So at least it gets them there. Now, if you do have a booth, you need to be putting this information in your booth. You need to be using your marketing, your brand, your shop. Put your whatever social media QR code to your social media. So whoever is shopping there, they can start following you. And then if some point you want to have an online account, you want to, create a newsletter, you want to have a website, you're going to have these followers. So building your audience, just like in real estate, is just as important as a reseller. So now how do you get started? Okay, so you've decided to do it, right? You've said, okay, I'm going to start social media. I'm going to go on one platform. Let's just use Instagram because I know it the best. So you're going to start an Instagram account, and this has to be under your shop name, not your personal name, your shop name. And make sure you have your link to your shop, wherever they can purchase items. What do you start posting? One of the girls I was thrifting with this past weekend, she has a booth and also sells on Poshmark. And I was asking, like, do you take video and stuff when you're resetting your booth? And she's like, I don't, not enough. And so it got me thinking, like, that would be an easy way to create content. I don't have a booth. I used to have a booth like 30 years ago. But that would have, and we didn't have anything back then, no social media. So I didn't have to worry about that. I just prayed people would come into the antique mall and buy. But so that's like, having that and having this now where you can help get those buyers there is it's invaluable. So when you go to do a reset, take a quick video, and we're talking quick. It does not have to be this is Instagram, this is Facebook, this is TikTok, this is fast content. And just take a quick video of your booth before it gets reset. Maybe take a video of what you have, what you're bringing. Then and after, maybe highlight a couple of really cool items that you just picked up. And that can be your content. Now, Pinterest, which I'm really excited to start learning. I mean, I used to do Pinterest years ago, but you can just do vignettes. So if you're taking like, product photos, you can do a quick vignette and put that on Pinterest if Pinterest is where you are going to be posting the most. So it doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be simple. Some other ideas for content is, if you are thrifting, you can take thrifting videos. You can take shopping carts. Those are one of my favorites, is to take shopping carts, or when I have stuff that's sitting on like the counter to buy, I'll take a quick video of that. That's some of my easiest and favorites. On Instagram, you have reels and stories. At least that's the majority. So for the reels, I will do like thrift with me. I'll do like going out and thrifting. So that does take some editing. And also when I'm doing sales, my just solds, I'll do that. Anytime I put out a video, I kind of do a recap. Those all go in my reels. My stories are kind of like in the moment. I was just in Portland over the weekend and I was with Laura and Jesse Caldwell from Left Coast Revivals. They did a vintage Oregon crawl, a one day with like 45 of us, like vintage resellers, thrifters. It was so much fun. I was a posting crazy person because I was kind of in the moment. Most of that was on my stories, kind of like stories are sort of like in the moment, what's happening now. I didn't have a whole lot of time to create a reel, right? Because that does take a little time. It does take some time to create a reel. I don't make a schedule, and it's something I do need to do is create sort of a social media schedule. Again, we're talking easy. I don't want to complicate things, right? Because we're dealing with our death piles. We're trying to cross list. We're trying to ship. Like we have, and then we have all, I can see it, all of the items we just thrifted to get cleaned, photographed, and listed. Like we're busy. Who has time for social media? But I don't think it's going to take too much. Again, reminder, 35% of my visitors I brought in. So if I say adios, Etsy, I'm going to only sell on my website, at least I know I have a little bit of an audience that would follow me. No, I am not doing that. I do have a website because I was a realtor forever. You had to have a website. And I'm slowly revamping that website to create it just being Sunshine Vintage Vibes. Now, I don't know if I think I will sell on my website, but I'm not going to exclusively sell on my website. I still need Etsy and the other platforms to get my business going. I'm nowhere near only selling on my website. I know a lot of resellers do. A lot of resellers, they'll just sell on Instagram. They'll just sell on Facebook. It's amazing and I applaud them. I'm not there. I don't feel like I have that yet. I'm not doing enough to do that. Now I have sold things on Facebook, not Facebook Marketplace, but off of Facebook. I want to say I think I've sold 3 items. I posted in a group. It was Salmon Falls Stoneware. I posted in a group 3 pieces I picked up, and I sold all 3 of them, right? Oh no, I sold 2. I sold one on Etsy, and then the other 2 I sold on Facebook because I posted. So it does work. I definitely want to start selling on my website, but as a supplement. And this is probably again a next year thing. Right now, I'm just kind of building it, creating it, taking out all the real estate stuff that's on there now and adding in all the good sunshine vintage vibe stuff that I love. And then eventually somehow, have sort of a shop on there as well. So, but the good thing is I have an audience that I'm building that I can bring with me. So I think you have to know what your intentions are. If you have no intention of having a website, you have no intention of moving, you are going to stay with that platform, you're ride or die. Awesome, no problem. And so you don't think you need social media, but why wouldn't you want to bring in more sales? Like, why not? Why not bring in some additional sales? It's only going to help your business. It's never going to hurt your business by posting on social media. My goal for now is twice a day, and usually one reel and 1 or 2 stories. So at least I have some content going out. I know any of those out there that are like, that's not enough. It's not enough. I know. I just am trying to manage all of this. Now, I want to start getting onto Facebook, which I've done before, and creating content exclusively for Facebook. I have more followers on my Facebook page than I do on Instagram and TikTok put together. So why am I not on Facebook more, right? Those are my those are my people. That's my demographic. That's who are shopping at my shop. So I have been doing that a little. I will go in and I will create a little bit of content that's just for Facebook. It doesn't even go to Instagram. I need to do that more. And that is something I'm trying to get better at. Like once a day, I need to create some content just for Facebook. Okay, so this is my challenge to you. Starting August 1st, that's a week away. It starts on Saturday, August 1st. This is the challenge, and I'm going to challenge myself too, but I'm going to challenge myself even more. So my challenge to you is pick a platform once a day. Once a day, you got to post on social media something about your shop, whatever you want to do. Again, a booth reset, a just in, just sold, look what I just picked up. It can be whatever you want it to be and whatever platform you are the most comfortable with. My suggestion is the one you have the most followers and once a day. So in August, you will have posted 31 days because you're posting at least once a day. And then see if any of that translates to sales. Now, my challenge, I'm challenging myself a little bit more. My challenge is, of course, once a day, but what I want that once a day to be is I want it to be a basically a product showing. So I do a lot of like thrifting and just solds and lots of fun stuff. I don't do a lot of like, hey, look what I just got in. Look what's for sale. Look what I have. Like I don't do a lot of like, I guess they call it like sneak peek or just in or fabulous find or whatever that is. I don't do that. I don't know why. And I see a lot of them, a lot of other resellers doing it and they're having success with that. So that is my goal for myself is August 1st, I'm going to start creating like vignettes of the items that I just got in that are going to be listed or are listed for sale. And I haven't exactly figured out, I have some ideas. I have this great bookshelf that I'm going to use for it, but I just have to start kind of creating little designs and I want to kind of need the week to kind of get all of this together so that come August 1st, every day I'm going to post something like that. And I'm going to see if this creates some more sort of sales, not just sending them to my Etsy shop or wherever they go to, but also maybe they'll reach out and say, hey, I love that. I did get that from a viewer wanting something that I had shown, but it had sold because it was an older video, which that doesn't happen very often. So let's see if I can create that too. So I challenge you to the August challenge of once a day, posting on whatever social media platform you feel comfortable with. And it has to be about your shop. I'm challenging myself and I am pushing myself even more. I'm challenging myself to the vignette. That's what I want to do. I can post whatever I want, but at least once a day, I have to post products, new products, whatever products in my shop. So in the comments, let me know. Let's just say, are you in? Say, I'm in. So if you're in for this challenge, comment, I'm in. And if you have any ideas, please share them. We are always wanting and willing to learn from other resellers on what is working for them on like social media and sharing and getting people to their shops, whether you sell online or in an antique booth. I was with a bunch of resellers this weekend, which was fabulous. It was such a good weekend. I'm still on a high from it. If you just want to comment, I'm in, that you are in for the August challenge. And then we will revisit this and see, hey, the beauty is if you're on Etsy, you can track it, but you can probably track it on other platforms too to see if there is more sales. So thanks again. I'll see you next Monday for a what sold in July. And then Thursday are always my thrifting videos. And see you next time. Thanks. Bye.